Alrighty, everybody, welcome to this episode of Around the Loop podcast. Today, I have a special guest. I have an entrepreneur, a barber, no other than Justin Lewis today. So thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it, and thank you for inviting me here to your place.
No, I appreciate you, Giovanni, for reaching out and wanting to talk to me.
Yes,
It's
sir.
something different for me. I'm excited.
So I wanted to get your story out there. Let's tell the world who you are. Let's introduce yourself a little bit.
Well, to kind of sum it up,
Mhm.
after a little bit of personal discovery, I would consider myself more of a charismatic visionary,
Okay.
hustler for sure. Barbering is a technical aspect of what I like to do, but
Mhm.
for me, I come from a university called Make Something Shake, so we gonna we gonna
Hey,
get
that's
to
what
this
I'm
money
talking about.
Yeah, we gonna get to this money regardless. Yeah, and a craftsman for sure. I like working with my hands. I like
Mhm.
making things come together. And barbering just spoke to me that way. So growing up, I kind of just figured hey, I was always trying to get to something. I was always trying to get into something, learn something different. I'm
Mhm.
a voracious reader and everything like that. So always trying to figure something else out. When I came up on this was like the perfect opportunity. We were in COVID. Nobody had a choice. nobody
True.
nobody really had a choice. So I was doing everything that we weren't supposed to be doing.
100%. I feel you.
And it panned out. So that's how we got here today.
That's a blessing. Well, I appreciate you for sharing that. So I want to take a step back all the way to your childhood days. So let's talk a little bit about your upcoming.
Mhm.
So what can you or what do you want to share with the people around the loop? Let's about your childhood, your upcoming. Like what can you share? Because everybody has a different upcoming and childhood and.
To take it all the way back there, I would kind of say that everything that I've gained from my childhood has led me to where I am in a sense. I came from two parent household in a middle income neighborhood and everything like that. I went to Mira Mesa High School, so I'm from the 858,
Okay.
which is really dope, extremely diverse. I've been around a huge different mixing pot of kids and parents and people and seeing how a bunch of different cultures come together. I got Hispanic friends. I have a good group of Asian friends.
Oh, that's amazing.
Filipino, Vietnamese, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have the ponce and the lumpia at the cookout for sure.
Hey, that's
It's
what we're
100%
talking
gonna
about.
happen.
Yes, sir.
I got other friends that were African American too. I got a couple of my white homies, shout out Bryce, but you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've come from a good little mixing pot.
Good diversity. That's what I'm talking about.
My friend group is real dedicated to everybody doing something. You know
That's
what I mean?
good.
I'm around a good group of people for the most part that it's hey, what you got going on? What you got going on? What you got going on? There's a lot of friendships that I have that, hey, we might not talk for a few weeks, we might not talk for a couple months, but every time we do, you know what I mean, it's back to it. We always trying to make something happen, figuring it out. Never seen anything too crazy growing up. You know what I mean? Just me personally, my homie Cameron likes to say, Justin, you always unnecessarily go to figure something out. So if there's no trouble around, somehow, some way, I'll probably find it. Just to be real, I'll probably find it or probably get myself into something that I might be a little over my head, but hey, I learned a good grip from it.
Yeah.
And I definitely get some game from whatever situation I'm in. So yeah, that's what I would like to say.
So I wanted to ask, what about school? Like, how was school growing up? Because I mean, everybody went through it differently. Everybody experienced school differently, especially like middle school and high school. It's a different experience. Did it change you at that point in high school, where it's was it make or break who you are, or was it after high school that you really started
Man,
because everybody has, I guess phases.
yeah,
Everybody has,
everybody has phases. My ugly duckling phase was for so in middle school. You know what I'm saying? Middle school, I
feel you
feel
on that
like
one.
everybody find out how to be an asshole for the first time. So either you soften up or you get a little bit worse. In high school is where you probably get popped in the mouth once or twice. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You really figure it out right then and there which way you want to go. But when it came down to school though, I was never the smartest kid, but I was never I never had to worry about not graduating, anything like that. I was always pretty into every different group and every different former aspect. I had friends from all over the different spectrums. When it came to graduating, I graduated with a 3.5.
Oh, nice.
3.8, 3.5. I can't
That's
really
really good
remember.
still.
But yeah, it was really
that's
dope.
pretty
But
good.
I did take some of the easy classes though. But
Hey,
one class I'll
work
forever
smart,
be
not
grateful
harder.
for is I took a video production course. So
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, that gets me through the editing and stuff today when I do that. And yearbook was definitely dope. I'm gonna say it, but hey, your senior year, bro, take them easy classes, gang. I don't care. Like you do what
That's
you
the
got to
time to
do.
relax.
Yeah,
It
that's
really
you know what I'm saying.
is.
Kick back, have a good time, man.
Mhm.
Learn some practical skills or something. Get in the auto shop or whatever for sure. That's definitely what I would say.
No, that's true.
But with the make or break moments, man,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna toss that to after high school.
Okay.
For sure. I would
Mhm.
say my childhood was definitely a childhood. Um, didn't necessarily teach me how to be a man. I figured learning how to be a man came after that
Yeah.
because that's when life came through. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And when life came through, and I'm getting into different things and learning more about myself, I learned that I was severely underdeveloped in a lot of different aspects
Mhm.
that I was going to need in order to be successful in whichever way I wanted to. So I dedicated a lot more of my time to understanding myself, learning different which ways and how I can give my gifts out and
Yeah.
how I can navigate through the world with all the crazy shit that be happening. So
True.
in that process, like I've definitely learned how to more step into myself. 100%.
So coming out of high school, did you end up going to college? Was there any college in your belt, military time, or anything out of that?
I went to Mesa College
Okay.
for, I believe, yeah. I went to Mesa College for a good semester.
Hey,
I
you
was
went
getting
to
into my
school?
yeah, because then COVID came along. So I
Okay,
graduated in
I see.
2019.
Mm-hmm.
Fall of 2019, got into college, and then I think we went into COVID. I think it was March. It was like
Like
March.
right
Yeah,
away. I
like
remember that.
damn near right away. So when that happened, at
Mm-hmm.
that time I was working two jobs. Like I was working Red Lobster, and I was doing takeout for Red Lobster because that never stopped. And
Yeah.
then I was working for my grandpa. I was doing
Mm-hmm.
caregiving work for him,
Oh,
and then
okay.
I was learning how to cut hair at the same time and go to school.
Nice. Wow.
I can't sit down. Like I really
Hey, you're
suck at
always
that.
busy though. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
nah,
good.
it's,
Staying busy.
yeah, man. It was I had for everybody that was
Mm-hmm.
talking about like, hey, I'm getting EDD, I'm getting EDD. I wasn't getting no EDD, bro. I was all of my paper was coming from like actually what I was doing and where
Yeah.
I was going. It was me and a Nissan 2003, 2004 Nissan Frontier, busting it all the way between Mira Mesa, Escondido, and all over the place I could just to get a haircut in. So and then I was kind of doing my homework. I had money, so I was like, I was
Mm-hmm.
over here paying people to do my homework for me and stuff like that. But once I finished that semester out, I just really never signed up for more classes because it was like this was kind of moving for me.
Yeah. So this is what inspired you to actually become a barber? Who inspired you? If there's a who or what?
Yeah, actually, I seen him today. My barber from the time I was like 13,
Mm-hmm.
14, his name's James, and
Mm-hmm.
James loves to take vacations. But the thing with James taking vacations, he taking a vacation. Like he's gone for like a month or
Okay.
he's gone for a couple weeks, and he has the tendency of just disappearing. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, cuz, like I need a haircut. He gone. Like I'm like, yo, like when you come back? He's like, oh, I'm back in 3 weeks, bro. Like I'm like, ah. So in the barbershop at the time, and that happens to be the first barbershop I've ever worked at.
Oh,
You know what I'm
wow.
saying? Yeah. So it's like kind of like a childhood home for me. It's called Mecca Barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
He introduced me to the shop, and I was trying to learn how to cut my own hair because everybody else in there was busy. And I was big on watching like 360 Jeezy videos, and everybody knows who that is if you've ever touched a pair of clippers or whatever. You know what 360 Jeezy is. So watching his videos and stuff, I'm like, I can give myself a fade. Man, I fucked my man. That was crazy.
Well, I
Like,
remember my first fade.
oh yeah, no, and I remember, yeah, you was just saying that you've been cutting your hair for a good
For a
grip of time.
while, yeah.
So I think everybody remembers the first time they gave themselves a haircut. That was a crucial moment. But what I got from it was, hey, it's fun. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely fun. I cut the hole on top of the trash bag. I put my trash bag on my body.
That's what I did too.
Yeah, and I cut the arms out because I'm like, shit. Well, like now it's weird, so I cut the arms out. I put my arms through the holes, like trying to figure it out. And I went ahead and gave myself a fucking Nike sign on the front of my head, but you know what I mean? It worked out in the end because again, like that I kind of felt like a kid getting like a Rubik's Cube or something for the first time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Where it was like, hey, like this is something new for me to figure out. And I was really heavy on sports when I was younger. So it kind of gave me that same feeling of like, oh, I can always get better at it.
True.
Oh, like, you know what I'm saying? I see so many people doing different things. Like I want to try this. Like I want to try to get this going on. And then we happen to get in COVID. And when COVID happened again, like it was kind of like, oh, bring your ass. Like, oh, the homies, oh, come on. Like, come on, let me try it. Come on. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
Oh, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Cause yeah, no, during COVID, I can't tell you how many alleged haircuts I gave out.
Oh yeah, right. Hell
allegedly
yeah.
on the record, but yeah, no, it comes in clutch for having that skill. I mean, it started for me. My dad just kept giving me high and tights.
Man, boy.
So I got tired of it, and I got made fun of in high school people would be like, "Why you keep having high tights?" I was like, "I don't know. That's the only haircut I've been having."
Your parents, I don't
But
know
I
why.
love my dad for what he did though.
That's
He
crazy
tried his
though.
best.
Like, I mean, even me, like, I feel like every black kid get that peanut head special for the first like 13 years for your life. Like, I don't know if it's because it's, you know what I'm saying? Like your cut G, like whatever it is, like them first 12 years of your life, you going with that peanut head special for sure.
Yo, I feel you on that, and that's what kicked it off. And I was just like, yo, I'm gonna start cutting my own hair. And I remember my first fade, and man, that shit was fucked up. But
hey man,
hey, that's what inspired
it for sure.
It definitely inspired it. So after during COVID, when did you discover? When did you find out that you were actually gonna dream about opening a shop or having a place of your own, or instead of being a mobile barber at the time? Technically, that's what it was, right?
Yeah, I was strictly mobile. I was cutting out the back of a truck, or like I was bringing my briefcase, and I was over at San Diego State all the time. Like I was over at SDSU cutting the football players.
Hell yeah.
Going down the street, there's this place called Boulevard 63. I'd be up in there all day long, cutting like 15 dudes in a day. Like, you know what I mean? Just going back and
That's
forth.
what I'm talking about. Hustling.
Around that time, the barbershop idea was never really in my head. It was more of I kind of felt like Kobe in the gym. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of like a feeling of like, bro, I can keep going. Like, I can just keep going. Like, this is working for me. I can keep going. Like, I got it. I kind of got in a flow state of I'm grinding right now. Like, I'm working. I got that little tunnel vision thing that I got.
Yeah.
That really locked it in for me, though, for sure. And then everything else just kind of lined up for itself.
So at what point did you lock in and you said, you know what, I'm actually going to start school? That's a good question.
To answer your question, I decided I wasn't going to go back to school when I opened my Cash App and I seen $4,000 sitting there, like off of like 2 months worth. Not even 2 months, like probably a month and a half worth of work. Jeez. And that's just off of haircuts. My Cash App was strictly haircuts. That was nothing else. That wasn't including the 2 paychecks that I was already getting and everything else that I was like, there's I want to work for it. You know what I mean? All right, like, what I want to go to school for. But even today, my philosophy with school is like, hey, if you going into a profession where it really does take a degree for you to go ahead and get
or
to
a license,
100%, I would do that. But there's a lot of people that have like a creative and entrepreneurial side to them. I figure if you can do it, go into that. You know what I'm saying? Spend your time exactly where it is that you find your talents at. Not just because the money's good. You know what I mean? Like, money at some point, if it's fast, it's gonna go just as fast as
that's true. Nothing's good on the fast pace like that.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to just lean into something that you know is hitting right now. You know what I mean? Unless you have like an actual structure that you built for it and a foundation for it, and if you can flip sides, you can get with the times and things like that. Okay, yeah, for sure, lean into it. But if it's a quick snatch and grab, don't drop out of college for that. For sure, it's too many different ways.
So my question for you is, for people that want to jump into school, what recommendations or what advice can you give to those people as far as like, how would you find the right school? How do you come across finding the right school or not getting ripped off from a school that is a school? That's what I'm curious.
And and that's funny off of our earlier conversation. But man, when it comes to the barber industry, I would say, especially for young people trying to get into it, don't lean on the school necessarily to teach you everything it is that you want to know. At some point, you got to think about it. Are you going to get cut by the person that's been cutting for 15 years, but maybe he hasn't gone to school, doesn't have a license, or you're going to get cut by the kid that comes from barber school? He knows all the technical aspects. He knows everything out the book, you know what I'm saying, etiquette-wise, ethics-wise, but he's never touched a head a day in his life. You know what I mean? Or hasn't worked with your hair texture at all.
Yeah, I see that.
In that case, I would say definitely take the time to learn on your own. You're going to have to go out your way to get extra haircuts, go out on the street. You're going to have to talk to people. Getting into school is also a way to learn how to be creative in yourself. At the end of the day, you're branding yourself. You're not only just cutting the hair. You don't want to just come into a shop just knowing that, hey, like, I'm just cutting hair all day waiting on walk-ins. You're learning how to brand yourself for the first time. Discover what it is that's about you that's going to gravitate your audience towards you, and learn how to make an emphasis on that early, and then just keep hammering it in, keep working on it. When it comes down to picking a school, though, I would definitely pick a school that comes from your culture, your area, whatever it is that's got the right vibe for you, that's got the right energy. and that you've seen they truly invest emotionally into the kids, into the work, and you can tell.
Yes.
Like a lot of these schools have like Instagrams now and their websites. You can tell how much work and effort and how much they care. Are they having workshops? Are they having other barbers in the industry that not
I
only,
see.
you know what I'm saying, coming through and actually teaching? Are they teaching things outside of just the technical aspect of cutting hair? Are you learning social media marketing tactics? Are
That's
you
important.
learning things about LLC in your name and business moves and all those other
Yes.
things like that? There's a lot that goes into it that you need to develop a passion for. And if you go to a barber school that doesn't have that, you're gonna kind of be asked out and figure it out on your own.
That's true. That's true. And then when you mentioned about the LSC and stuff and branding yourself, like, yeah, let's talk about that a little bit about how important it is to brand yourself. At the end of the day, like, what advice can you give to people that are trying to learn how to brand themselves? Like, especially if they're nervous, scared, or especially starting an LLC, because that is truly one of the most important things.
It comes down to a couple of different points. First of all, it's scared money don't make no money, for one. If you're truly betting on yourself, you need to bet on yourself. Faith is absolute. It doesn't have any questions. It's not if, ands, or buts. It's not leaning half and half. We don't sit on the fence. You pick one side and you choose it. If you're choosing a route where, hey, I'm going to lean all the way into this for myself and I'm going to take this route, you need to take it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen and I've been in plenty of situations where it's like, man, I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if I want to get into this or whatever. And it's going to cost you. It might not cost you right up in front of your face, but the more ledges that you step away from, it's only going to make it easier to keep stepping away from ledges in the future. The biggest thing when it comes to even getting into any sort of industry as an entrepreneur is like the fact that you're going to have to know yourself before anything. Creating a personal brand comes down to the fact is like, what are you doing as a person that's going to gravitate your audience towards you? I like to think of my clientele as members instead of clients.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
I like that. Members. Okay,
exactly. I'm looking to create a community around myself that is heavily involved, not just on the aspect of we coming in and we getting a haircut, we chopping it up for an hour, and then you out the door. I want to create an experience that's something that's everlasting. And as I continue to grow as a person, because I'm heavily investing in myself 24/7, you'll be able to grow with me, or you'll be able to take something away from that.
Okay,
and that keeps people coming. You could be a different city away, different state away, but this is a central space for you to come back to, and that you can see like, hey, like Jay's still working, or we still working, or we still got this going on. Like every time you come around, there's a resource for you that you can take away from. Cold Cuts Brands dropped a video last year at the beginning of 2024. It's only got 844 views though. I think it's the most valuable video that I've ever watched though. It came back to a point. It's like, hey, like we living in a time of inflation, and skill levels are jumping at a rapid pace, especially as 100%. Social media grows and these online courses are coming out from different barbers and stuff like that. Now, what's going to be the difference between somebody paying $40 with you and $40 with somebody else? Because everybody at that point got the same skill level.
True. What sets you apart?
It's going to be how much are you investing in yourself? At this point, value has to be more than what we're actually physically doing. I can give a clean ass fade for show, but so can somebody else. So, you know what I'm saying? Shelly was here. She I be learning from her every day. You know what I mean? So what the differentiation is going to be in between these processes is how much value are you providing for these people that are connecting them to you instead of what you're doing.
I see. Okay.
That's the biggest
thing. That's that, and when you break it down like that, it's nice because it's not you're no longer seeing them as clients. It's more than that. It's a full investment. It's a community, like you say. You're building a group right there, and it's really nice to see the growth in that, and they can see you grow too, and you can see them grow as well. So I wanted to ask as well, when it came to finding your barbershop, like how did you come down to this place? How did you end up here?
Man, that is a touchy one in itself. So like I told you earlier, I'm coming from my hometown of Mira Mesa, and the most popping shop we got over there, Mecca Barbershop. I've spent the 4 out of 5 years I've been cutting hair, I spent it there. And I've gotten so much game, wisdom, and knowledge, and been able to come to different understandings in so many different phases in my life over there. It came to a point where I was like, hey man, like I feel like I've contributed as much as I can to this space.
Yes.
there was a lot of things that I was doing on the back end when it came to educating myself, when it came to growing within myself and seeing myself take off in a different direction that I wasn't necessarily feeling the spark for because of how comfortable I was. And that was,
so you got too comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the thing. When I talked to Vic, and that's one of my first mentors, like he's like one of the uncles I never had, but we had a discussion when I was getting ready to leave the shop, like, hey bro, at the end of the day, this is a leather couch. You know what I mean? Like, this is a place where it's like we were based right outside of Miramar. You know what I'm saying? So we had constant walk-in flow. Everybody in Mira Mesa knew the shop. So we had constant people coming in all the time based off the legacy of the shop that we already had.
True.
And for me, seeing everything that it is that I wanted to build for myself at some point in the future, I knew that I was going to have to skin my knees a little bit. Like, I knew that the comfortability that I had here, even though it felt good, was not going to be what I needed in order to get what I actually wanted.
No, true. You won't. And unfortunately, that's the honest truth, is you won't get to that point if you're forever in one spot. You gotta have to keep going and growing and growing.
And you got to push yourself. And in a sense, for somebody else, Mecca might be that place where it's like, hey, they landed there, and now everything for them is up and up and up. And for me, since I came into that situation, such a easy, smooth, loving, and just giving situation in which I was, I was a little spoiled. You know what I'm saying? I was a little spoiled. I was getting it. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was messing around, having my life. Like, I had my money and everything. Everything was cool. You know what I mean? Like, I was used to that. But I knew me being in that mind state was the one thing that was fucking me up from, hey, like, we finna take off. So when it came to this opportunity, me and Shelly, we have a mutual friend, and his name's Bryce, and he lives across the street. He owns Soul Shakedown Studios down the street. Nice. I cut his hair. She does music at his studio. So they get to chopping it up. She had this brand new space that she was getting into. And then they were just talking, and then Bryce was like telling her, like, hey, I got a friend, like, he's, you know what I'm saying, he's real nice, and he's trying to figure something out for himself, like, and I think you guys would click. He comes back to me like, hey bro, like, I think this would be great for you. I think it'd be fantastic. And at that point, like I told you, I live in Mission Valley, so that's a 45-minute drive. I'm like, bro, my clientele's not over there, bro. Like, the dudes is lazy. Like, I'm lazy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I, at first, I didn't want to do it, but he just kept saying, like, nah, bro. Like, I know you can do this. I know this is for you. This is the opportunity that you've been looking for. Like, I'm telling you, it's it. So I'm like, all right, let's go have a conversation. So I came here. Me and Shelly sat down. We had a talk about everything it is that we were looking for in. When it came down to this space and what we saw in the future. And at some point, she's asking me a couple questions, and then, like, my drive sets going, and, like, I start asking her questions. You know what I mean? I'm asking her, like, hey, because she does music. So like, hey, if music takes off for you, what do you see for this space? What do you see for yourself when you're taking this in a different direction in the next 5 to 7 years? She has a pretty big name, especially in SoCal and especially in San Marcos. Everybody out here knows her and the motion that she got going on. So I'm like, okay, so when it comes to that, where is it do you see yourself taking it? You know what I mean? Like, at what point does it stop for you? We start going back and forth. We having a good conversation. Everything clicked, and right there she was like, hey, like, the spot's yours if you want it. Went back home. I didn't want to sit on it too long because I was like, bro, you know what you need to do. And I made that decision. I'm like, okay, I'm finna strap down. I'm finna make something shake. I'm finna bring my ass here, and so we are.
Yes, sir. So have you had any clients from when you were cutting hair in Mira Mesa come over here? They come out here.
Yeah. No, I would like to say I've had my most engaged clients.
That's good.
Come through over here. The guys that not only want to see me take off and grow in the direction that I want to, but I know personally I give value to and take value from. So, like, it really, like, they're not even putting a number on what it is that they're willing to pay or the drive or anything like that. And for me, that means so much because I've been able to touch them in that sort of way. No Diddy. I've been able to do I've been able to do a lot for them and vice versa. Every time I see one of my clients coming from over there, we always having a conversation on what the next step is between me or between them, or what it is that we looking at, what's going on right now. What do you see for yourself? Oh yeah, hey bro, I'm trying to swing back into the gym. I'm getting into this and that, whatever. Okay, cool. Like, I've had a few clients where I've dropped books on them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, hey, read this, like tap in with this. If there's something it is that you feel like you're missing, bro, I'm telling you, I read this before here. This will work for you. You know what I mean? And they've helped me cultivate the mindset in which I'm in too. So yeah,
no, nice.
Got a grip of them.
No, that's great. And so I wanted to ask as well, like, no, and it's been such a great conversation with you so far. So let's talk about social media. How did you jump into that? Because I see that you have your Instagram going on, and I've seen your videos and everything, and the transformations for people here and there. So let's talk about that. How did you come up with the actual idea of putting yourself out there?
Okay, well, to answer your question, when it came to social media, working in this field that I work in, it's imperative. At this point, the old business model of going outside, handing out cards and greeting people and talking to 100 people a day. I mean, those are old school methods that I think are very good for you to get your communication out there and to get your feet wet with that. But everybody got a phone, bro. Like everybody got a phone, and everybody's looking for something to take their attention. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and me having a low attention span, I know I be on it too. So, when it came down to social media, I've given social media like a good couple tries. I would say I always get sidetracked with something else going on in my life or whatever. I'm in a space now where I know what I'm one singular purpose, one singular direction. So when it comes to being consistent and jumping on it and understanding what I'm building now, comes with a different tone of how I post things and what's going up and what's not going up in the direction in which we're going. Right now is a foundational period. I see everything that I do on Instagram kind of like a funny game to me, because it's like, hey, like right now I'm just using this platform that I need to just have a rock to come back to whenever I'm trying and getting into different stuff. I got a landing page coming soon. That at some point is going to have like a sign up login point where my members can come in and we can actively interact with each other.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and have like a real community behind it. And then like where things like this, like the podcasting space or whatever, at some point people will be able to get a sneak peek or a different look, or when I'm doing certain things, like if I'm start streaming or anything when I'm home, going over things that I'm learning or different things that I'm getting into, bringing things from the shop back home and discussing different topics and stuff like that. That'll be up on there too. And then my community can get together and we can all talk, and people will be able to post their own videos or whatever. And we can just get down to have different conversations and stuff like that.
I see. Okay. So no, that's awesome. And and that's and that really like brings it down to branding, self-branding. And and you're how you're bringing all the work you're doing, you're bringing it together. You're always 24/7 working, so it's always entrepreneur, finding new ways, and especially with social media, like you said, for people with low attention span or people that are just trying to find a new way to get creative, there's always a new way to do it. And especially like you said, if you got a phone, there is no excuse not to be able to make money. There's no excuse not to be out there and branding yourself.
If you could go on TikTok live and say thanks for the tacos, and leave with $300 more than you have before, bro, you can make some shit shake. I don't care. If at this point, if you don't got nothing going on, bro, it's on you.
That's true.
But to go back to the personal branding, everything kind of boiled down to one particular message for me that I put on my Cut App page.
Okay,
it's not the haircut, it's not the gym, it's not the things that we do, it's about the transformation. So it all comes down to who we're growing to be, and that's who we truly are. In all my work that I've done with myself, like I've come to understand self-growth isn't a thing of adding to yourself, it's a removal process. You're already enough to begin with, but certain things, you got certain traumas, certain fears, certain ignorances that you have that are holding you back from your true self. So
that's a great way to put it.
My whole process is about let's remove those things from you so you can be who you truly are freely, in a sense. And everybody has their own individual way they see shit, how they do things, what they can put out. I don't even think I'm the hardest version of myself yet. I still think that I'm in a position where, I'm still stacking chips on a day-to-day basis. And at some point, I want to teach other people how to not only stack their chips, but how they move and how they speak into the universe and how they relate themselves out to the world and be able to manifest their own thing in a physical realm. So, yeah, at the end of the day, the personal brand is way beyond the haircut. For right now, this is just a technical aspect of what we do, but it's not going to stay that way forever. It's just going to be an additive to it.
I wanted to ask. So, is there any funny stories that you can share? Any honorable stories and mentions of you being a barber? If you had any oopsies, like you're cutting hair and the guard magically falls off.
Oh yeah,
I
I've
mean,
definitely I've had that before for sure. Man, guard falling off. Yeah, there was actually there was one time. This is when I first started.
mm-hmm.
I was cutting my homeboy Jackson, right? And if he sees this, hey, my boy, I'm sorry. Like I'm real sorry, gang. He was actually like my second haircut. And I'm using my Oster Fast Feeds, and so Oster Fast Feeds, they got a magnetic guard set,
Yes.
right? And I know you know this because you because so they got a magnetic guard set. But if you don't put it on all the way, though, if you don't, it's gonna flip off, bruh. I'm over here. I'm trying to give him a high taper, right? Man, I turned that shit into a mid fade. I'm going up with the two guard, and I didn't have it on all the way. I didn't hear that snap. I just snapped it on there. And then so when I went to go like dip it onto his head, like it popped backwards. Oh, and then the metal guard, and it just went up and psh, it just went up and psh, just like that. And luckily he didn't even really notice. So I mean, like it just took me 2 hours longer. You know what I mean? And at this point I was only charging $10 and he gave me 20. And I'm sitting here like I'm getting on the way home and I'm thinking I just got away with a heinous crime. Like y'all should throw me in a fucking jail right now. Like this is crazy. Throw the book at me for
you
what
could
I
have
did.
You could have been a villain right there. You could have been like, how many more can I pull off?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, hey, like, can he pay me double for that? I'm like, then no, that's just the homie showing love. But man, when it comes down to it, like, you know what I'm saying, you hear so many different stories and things on a daily basis. It's kind of hard not to get something from it. That's what I kind of love about it the most. I feel like people are like the best books you can read at some point. Like everybody's individual experience is something that only they have, and a lens that only they have. It's a rose-colored lens you'll never have. So you can get something from everybody somehow, some way. You know what I mean? Like everybody has a route and way as to which the way they are and why they got here. So I mean, I just try to take from everybody, and I got like plenty of little funny stories and stuff like that I could pull from. But yeah, that main mess up with Jackson though, that's my big one. That's my big one. Anything else, if a guard ever fell off in a different situation, it's been in a place where I can fix it. You know what I mean?
That's good.
I'm to the point now where I'm confident enough in what I do. I'm like, bro, like I don't really care what happens as long as it's not skin bald on the top. Like, bro, I think I can.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, maybe you could.
That's the only thing I feel like you can't really save is if you really just went ahead and you know what I'm saying, yank somebody really. I've had a situation where a dad wanted the kid to cut the hair off, right? But I was gonna be funny with it, and I let the kid go ahead and tell me what he wanted, right? And at this time, he had like a fro that was out this way. And he's a light skinned kid, so like when their hair grows out, it's like a wild mess, you know what I mean? But the dad wanted like a number 2 on top.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Just wanted to get rid of it. So I'm like, all right, pops, yeah, I got you. And then the kid was over here telling me, yeah, bro, just keep the top. You know what I mean? I just want to do it. And mind you, he's like 9. Like, he's like 9. So he thinking he got it, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, for so. Yeah, I got you, little bro. Like, it's cool. Yeah. Shink. like, I went ahead and then I was like, oh, my bad, bro. Like, oh, my bad, bro. And then, like, his pop started giggling a little bit. His pop started laughing. Yeah. And then he was like, bro, what? I'm like, and I was like, hey, bro, like, we were just playing, bro. Like, your dad said, like, he not going for that shit no more. So, like, we just go ahead and cut it off. Like, it's all good. But this is before I even got in the shop. Like, this is during that COVID time. So, it was cool. He didn't have to go to school or nothing. So, like,
that's good.
Yeah, but that was definitely, that was a funny ass moment for sure.
And I wanted to ask you about like when it comes down to haircutting. So transformations, because a haircut can literally transform a person, a whole ass person. So what crazy ass transformations have you seen personally yourself that you've been able to bless people with?
Man, if I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't fall with the hair. It comes with the demeanor.
Okay,
like I've seen people change like from like, oh yeah, bro, to like, man, like. It's the funniest thing when you see somebody that comes in and they had like a shitty week, bro, and they're like, man. And then you go ahead and you get that sauce on them, you know what I mean? And they're like, man, shit. Like, I'm finna, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna go get to it. That's my favorite thing on the plate, because that's how I feel all the time. I always feel like
that's
that.
Great.
Like, So like just know that I can impart that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's gonna be a simple taper. Sometimes it might just be a lineup, but it's the fact of what that energy does for people. You know what I mean? And how it really will turn somebody up. You know what I mean? Personally, our cameraman right there, Kirk.
Honestly, yeah.
There's been plenty of situations where he talking and he be yapping, like we be talking and going back and forth or whatever. After he get the cut, he be like, "Shit, I'm back." like shit, I'm back. He totally forgetting about whatever girl or whatever situation he had going on. He not even tripping about that no more. He finna go get another one.
The city's his.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, city's yours, world is mine. You know what I mean? Like, it's.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I love making sure people leave with that type of energy for sure. Like, and it translates to everything that you do. At the end of the day, I want you to come into any space that you walk into with that confidence, with that air of like, hey, I can do whatever it is that I want to. You know what I'm saying? Given the right positive tone and everything like that, the world is yours, and you should feel like that. You should walk around like that. You should celebrate yourself that way. So I just make sure to do my part, make sure that they have that when they leave me for sure.
So for folks that want to book an appointment with you after they see in this episode and they want to book an appointment and come out with you, where can they do this through?
Okay, so right now I'm particularly on the Cut app. So I'm on the Cut app right there, and on my Instagram at officiallyJL. You can find my link right there in my bio.
I'll make sure I put it on there.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yes,
sir. When I get that landing page up there, though, that'll also be another way in which you can book with me too. It's still in the works right now, still working on it. But when it is up there, you'll have an option to book on there as well. But yeah, those are going to be my main two. If you catch me in person, you can always chop it up with me. I always got my dot card on me, so I can tap my phone on your phone, lock you in that way. Nice. But yeah, those are going to be the main ways right now.
Okay. And two final questions before we start wrapping it up, or actually one more. Is there anything else that you would like to share with Around the Loop? Anything that I missed possibly, or anything that you want to share that I didn't actually go over? Because this is the time. Sometimes I might forget that, we didn't cover this and that. I'm like, no, well, this is the time to actually, think about, did we miss that or we missed that? Because we'll always do a part 2. That's for sure. So we'll run it with a part 2 down the road too, to see the growth. That's what that's my future goal, is to do part 2s with a lot of people just to see the growth.
Oh, man,
that's my favorite thing.
I'm gonna leave y'all with this because this is how I'm thinking about it on a regular day-to-day basis. Comfortability is nice, but nothing grows there. So every time you step away from your heart beating out of your chest, when you feel that fear really kicking in, every time you take a step back from that, you're taking a step back from who you could truly be. You know what I'm saying? At some point, when it comes to that moment and you feel that sweat dialing in, you feel the room getting a lot warmer than what it was 10 minutes ago, you are on the verge of freedom somehow, some way. And you are on the verge of leveling up. And every time you take a step back from that, you're losing. That's true. You won the moment that you went for what you wanted. The outcome might not necessarily be what you wanted. It's the person that you're becoming on the way to getting those outcomes. Speak to yourself correctly. Affirm yourself. Make sure you take the time to learn yourself and be positive. It's not a bad thing to love and appreciate yourself. It's not a bad thing to wake up in the morning and feel good. It's not a bad thing to speak good things into the universe and to celebrate yourself as a king or queen. I recommend everybody to do that. And nobody's exempt from that. Everybody has the opportunity to be great. You just have to allow yourself to be.
That's true.
And coming from the fence, like, I ain't always hold my end up, hold my part of the bargain up to myself. So I hold that respect up to myself every day now. There's not a negative thought that comes into my head that lasts longer than 2 minutes. I'm always pushing to get forward to it. And I want to make sure everybody else feels like that too. So the best thing that I could do is make sure to tell y'all, hey, like, it's okay. And you're good. And you're not looking to be perfect. You're looking to be you. And that's the best form of perfection that there is. Just be yourself. So, hey, get to it.
I really appreciate that. And thank you. Honestly, that actually covered the 2 questions I was going to ask you. Is what advice do you have for either the younger version of you or for the people around the loop? And you literally killed it right there without me asking. So I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
The questions, man.
And, I'm looking forward to doing a part 2 with you down the road, seeing the growth, especially with both of us, especially with, you and the barber and the entrepreneur side, seeing what's next. And actually, for the people out there, do you have anything brewing, anything...
I got 2 things. I got 2 things going on right now. March 16th,
okay,
I'm gonna be doing a barber studio. I'm gonna be doing like a barber battle at 316th studio.
Okay.
It's a new studio is coming up, but they definitely wanted me to come up there, showcase a cut, and give a good little conversation, have a good little talk. It's gonna be me and some pretty big heads in the industry, like really gonna be over there. So if you get the opportunity, I would suggest for people to stop by, especially if you're a young barber or anything like that. You can definitely chop it up, get some game, and I would love to talk to you. I would love to talk to you, get with you. You know what I mean? Like that's one of my favorite things to do is to communicate. So I'm with that. May 3rd, actually, in Mira Mesa, in my hometown, in the Red Lobster parking lot. I'm going to be taking part of a shoe and vintage, a shoe and vintage event. Yeah, and I'll be there taking my appointments for the day. I'll have a whole tent set up, and then there's going to be a way to get raffle tickets by coming just to even come fuck with my Instagram or anything like that. You'll get raffle tickets for the free shoe giveaway. And things like that. There's gonna be some more things I'm gonna keep hush up on, but that's coming on May 3rd.
So. Y'all got to tap in for that. You can't miss that opportunity.
Sure. Shout out Auto Kick, shout out the Kickback. You know what I mean? And we taking over Mira Mesa on May 3rd, so make sure you tap in with that.
I appreciate it, and then, like I said, thank you so much for being on this episode. I really appreciate everything. I appreciate you bringing me here into your home, into your barbershop, and like I said, I'm looking forward for a part 2, and it was an honor and privilege to have you on the show. So thank you so much.
To speak to you, Gio. I appreciate that. No, for sure.
And that's a wrap. Appreciate it. That's it.
Good.
Thank you.